The point of this video is giving you my impression as a haikuist, or someone who writes haiku. I've been writing haiku or other forms of micropoetry every day since mid-January of 2022. And okay, not every day, but pretty close. And here's my impression of haiku. Yes, haiku is a very strict, regimented, poetic form that originated in Japan and has migrated into most languages around the world. It is beautiful and fun to work with. And the thing about haiku is that it can be highly regimented if you want your haiku to be highly regimented, okay? And in Japanese, they can do it because that's where it started from, okay? And so there are lots of ways that they write haiku, and some of which doesn't work in English. It just doesn't. Japanese and English are very different languages. Both are beautiful and wonderful in their own particular ways. And the thing about English is that we have different traditions and literary customs that have come to us through our history. And so we can integrate that into our haiku. In fact, I would say it's impossible not to. Okay. So haiku is 17 syllables long. That's the basic thing you need to know first. 17 syllables long. Okay. Next, most people divide it into 5, 7, 5. So 5 syllables, then 7 syllables, then 5 syllables. However, you can't always do that. It just doesn't work. I don't even think it works in Japanese. Sometimes you have to do it differently. So sometimes you have a long line in the beginning and 2 short lines, or you have 2 long lines, or you have 1 single long line, or you go short line, long line, whatever. Okay? But there is an interesting feature of haiku that I think is important, and that you have a turn at the end of the poem. So you begin by saying something, and then you turn it at the end, and you say something slightly different, or you twist it to give extra meaning. Okay. That's the basics of a haiku for me. Okay. There are so many things you can do with haiku. It is a poetic form that has so many rules. But the nice thing about any poetry that you write, especially if you're in the English tradition, okay? So American poets, British poets, Australian, New Zealand, whoever writes within the English tradition, is that you can screw with it. You can break it and make it do what you want rather than you doing what the form wants. And that's huge and wonderful at the same time. So I'll talk more about haiku. It's what I write. It's what I love. But remember those things I just told you. The most important, 17 syllables and that turn at the end. There's more. Oh my gosh, it's a highly regimented poetry form in Japanese. And you can choose to do that in English if you want. Or you could be like most people who write in the English tradition and break the form and make the form do what you want to write beautiful poetry for you. Anyway, thanks for watching.